everyone. Welcome to Elevating Your Life. So happy to have you with us today. I have just a fantastic guest to share with you today. We have with us David Cunningham. He is a renowned transformational teacher, spiritual practitioner, and lifelong advocate for humanity. From the humble beginnings in rural Pennsylvania to leading arguably the number one transformational program on 6 continents. David's impact spans over 30 years as a senior program leader with Landmark Worldwide, where he helped more than 500,000 people unlock new levels of freedom, authenticity, and love. His leadership has supported communities in healing, executive leaders in evolving, and people from all walks of life in rediscovering what truly matters in their lives. David's life is also a testament to courage and service. As a former special education teacher, LGBTQ rights advocate, and spiritual guide, he continues to create a powerful platforms for change. He founded the Love Matters collaboration, a movement anchoring love as the preeminent way of being. His book, Your Love Does Matter, A Journey to New Consciousness and Expanding Your Love Footprint, is the summary of all his life's work. It offers a profound path to healing, forgiveness, loving freely and fully, and spiritual growth, helping each of us reclaim the truth that we are here to love. I love that. We are here to love. Here's to love today, David.
Great. Hello, Paula. Hello, everybody.
So wonderful to have you. Well, would you like to begin with maybe share a little more of your background and kind of what brought you to this path and all you do?
Certainly, I'm 74 years old and recently retired and resolved as I was going for this next phase of my life. I really looked to resolve for myself, what do I want the next 30 years of my life to be about? And what I resolved and created for myself is I'm going to have it be about love prevailing as the preeminent way of being on the planet. And I'm not kidding about that. I'm intending to accomplish that love prevails as the preeminent way of being on the planet. And the journey that got me there is from, my young childhood to being very moved by love. I was raised Christian, so for myself, it was in the example of Christ. That's just for myself personally. But then, as life events happened, both my own family became violent, coming out as a gay man and being told that my love was inappropriate. And then, in professional life, being told I should suppress my expression of my love professionally. At some point, I knew I loved people, but it wasn't there as a presence until I did my own transformational work, doing what was called the S training in 1983, and then meeting a spiritual guru. Her name is Sai Ma, and having her touch my heart and open my heart back up. This is about 20 years ago now. Since that time, I, having met Saima, I became again unembarrassed about my love, unafraid to express my love, and have really discovered and want to make available to people the power. Love is not just like a great experience. Love is what has us be effective. Love is what has us be joyous. Love is what has us be able to accomplish anything we want to accomplish with people. So that's why I am committed that this message, your love does matter, gets out to the world.
I love that. I love that. And I love that topic. And, it really does. And, there's so much in life where love, I mean, that affects us, it affects everyone around us. And in your book, you talk about our love footprint. Please tell us about that, David.
Yes, we're dealing with, as a society, we're beginning at least to deal with that we have a carbon footprint. I also want to suggest to us that we have a love footprint. In other words, every time we leave an interaction with another person, whether we spent 60 minutes with a sales clerk in a store, or we spent a 2-hour lunch with our brothers and sisters, or whether we spent a year working next to a colleague. Every time we leave an interaction, we leave behind an experience. And the question is, well, what do we leave behind? Do we leave behind resentment, judgment, opinion, argument? Or maybe somewhere in the middle of the spectrum, we leave behind indifference? Or do we, in fact, leave behind an experience of love, honor, respect, grace? And I'm asserting that as a society, we could pay attention to that, and that literally we could be consciously expanding our love footprint individually and collectively.
Oh, I love that. That is a powerful message because, yes, every situation, every, being around someone or making a difference, that that moment does leave something as we move into the next moment. That is such a powerful message, David.
And I like to, in the morning, I have a practice of looking ahead at my day and looking at the places I will go, the situations I'll be in, and the interactions I'll have, and literally plan my day, look ahead and go, okay, when I go there and I interact with that person or those people, what do I want to leave behind? So I plan it ahead of time. And then after I leave the situation, I give myself a report card. I usually rank myself on a scale of 0 to 5, like how'd I do in terms of leaving behind a love footprint. So it has me really living consciously and purposefully during the day.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So know what you're going to be, as you see what you're going to be doing that day. Okay, this is the footprint I'm going to leave. This is the experience I'm going to have, and just put that out there.
And, it's for us. In other words, as human beings, we can notice that there's ways of being that we have. Like we can be generous, we can be stingy, we can be tender, we can be cold, we can be forgiving, we can be resentful, and we can be loving, or we could be judgmental or even hateful.
Mhm.
It's a way of being. And I invite us all to notice that we only love life when we love who we're being, period. And there's no way of being we love more than being loving. So I just invite those, well, when I'm being loving, I'm joyous. When I'm being resentful, I'm not happy at all. When I'm being judgmental, I'm not enjoying life. I'm not enjoying being me. But when I'm being loving, I love being me and I love the living of my life. So it's kind of a no-brainer in one way to have us give ourselves a life we love. It's exercising that power that we have to be loving at all times under all circumstances.
Oh, and we do have that power, don't we? We do.
Yeah, we don't necessarily have power over things we have. So we have things like cars, sweaters, but we also have emotions and thoughts. We don't have control over that. I could have a car 1 minute, it's gone the next. I could have a job 1 minute, it's gone the next. And I have emotions. I could have emotions of anger or I could have emotions of affection, but they don't last. They come and go, and we don't have control over them. We have thoughts, and we don't have control over those either. A thought can come into our head and then leave, and we don't have a say about that. So it's not a matter of trying to control and have loving thoughts or loving emotions. Being loving, actually being loving, like again, we can be tender, we can be cold, we can be righteous, we can be compassionate. Our way of being is the one thing we have total say about, and it's the one thing that gives us the quality of our life. That's such good news for us.
I love it. I love it. Was there a certain defining moment for you when you realized this was going to be your path?
Well, let's do two ends of the spectrum or two ends of the timeline, okay? So way back, I'll do a silly memory, but it's not so silly actually. When I was 4 years old, I think it was, I think Paula, it was my first encounter with my own soul. I was taken to church, and I was 4 years old, and lived in a really small town, and it was a really small church, but there was a candlelight service at night where the sanctuary was lit just by candles. I thought that was amazing at 4 years of age. But then the whole service was an artist painting a picture of Jesus on a velvet canvas. Did you ever see a painting on a velvet canvas? A lot of times they sell them by the highway, and they usually are tigers or Elvis Presley, pictures like that, right?
Uh-huh.
This was an artist painting a picture of Jesus with some children on a velvet canvas. And in my 4-year-old eyes, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. But most importantly, as I sat there watching, I was so moved. And I remember having the thought, the realization, I love that much. The way Christ is loving those children, I love that. I love that much. That's how much I love people. And I think, as I said, it was my first encounter with my own soul. And then, as I said before, over time, my own family becoming violent, etc., I that faded as a realization for myself. And again, it wasn't until that I did some real transformational work myself where I saw newly that I could put everything that had happened in my life in the past and have a clean slate for the future. And I got to invent my future and I got to invent myself as a loving human being. And that was a real turning. That was like from then on in, it's been let's go out here and express love and bring love to the world. And in fact, have love prevail on the planet.
And that is a beautiful message, David, that we can put everything in the past. It's the past, be done with it, have a clean slate, and decide from this moment on what we're going to be,
Yes,
what we're going to
exactly.
feel.
Exactly. And and we can do that individually and we can do that collectively. And I've set up the Love Matters collaboration so that people can join it. And we'll be announcing a membership in the next couple of weeks. People can join for free. There will be no charge whatsoever. I want this to be available to everybody. I want the women living on the streets of Mumbai to be able to join. So it's totally free. The only thing I'm going to do is when people join, I'm going to ask them to sign a pledge to their love footprint, sign a pledge to expanding their love footprint. And that's how you become a member of the Love Matters collaboration. And I'm intending that we can get members from every country in the world and really have this be a worldwide awareness,
I
consciousness
love it.
movement.
I want to be a part of that, David. That is
Good,
so awesome.
good.
Yes. And with you having experience being a special education teacher,
Mhm.
that's work of an angel, I believe. What was that like for you? And what did that put and teach you in your life?
It really taught me compassion. I think it's, that saying, "There by the grace of God go I." It taught me humility because what I watched those children deal with to actually just survive, and what I watched their families deal with to survive was humbling. So it taught me real humility for the strength and courage of all of us as human beings and what it takes us to bring ourselves forward in the face of the challenges of life. So I really learned compassion, humility, a deep appreciation for humanity as a special ed teacher.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And David, you've worked with people across 6 continents,
Hmm.
from Fortune 500 executives to teachers and first responders. What did that teach you about a universal need for humans, that the need for love?
Well, it taught me two things. I'll do both sides of the coin. It first taught me where I think we're trapped as a humanity. And I think where we're trapped is in that being right has become more important than being related. If you watch every argument that goes on, whether it's between a brother and a sister, a husband and wife, or just two strangers arguing, or if you listen to what goes on between countries, the argument is always about who's right and who's wrong. And so it seems like the thing that's become valued most is being right. And what there is for us to discover is to really free ourselves from that whole paradigm. And here's what there is to get. None of us have ever been right, ever. And we've never been wrong. We
Oh my goodness.
ever. We each have a view of I've never been right and I've never been wrong. We each have a view of life. We see life a certain way. If you're in front of my house and I'm behind my house, we have different views of the house. To
Mhm.
argue over which one is the right view is a silly and, in fact, counterproductive argument. So it's not arguing about when we deal with we're never right. We have views, and no view is the right view. We can take that energy out of arguments. And so for as a humanity, what I discovered as I worked around the world was we're caught in the same trap of having being right become more important than being related.
Ah,
Then the other side of the coin is when we're free, we love. That's what I discovered. Free from what? Free from resentments, free from judgments, free from opinions, free from fear. When we're free, we naturally love. Now, resenting and judging has become normal, very normal. We hardly even notice it. It's so normal, it's so commonplace. But there's a big difference between what's normal and what's natural for us. So if we can wake up to, hey, being judgmental, being resentful has become normal, but that's not natural. Then we put our judgments and our resentments, etc., aside. What we find out is we naturally love, and it's there as a natural expression. So the job I discovered working around the world was the job is never to try to have people become more loving. That's not the job. The job is to free people up from everything that closes their heart. And when
ah,
you free them from what closes their heart, they naturally love. That's what I discovered working around the world.
wow. So freeing them up from what's closing their heart and
Yes, yes,
hindering.
yes.
And
So
then
for,
that's just going to make their love footprint grow.
yeah. So for me to say to you, for instance, Paula, you should be more loving, that would be like a ridiculous statement. No, that'd be just ridiculous. The question is, Paula, is there any situation where you find that your heart closed? Okay, let's find out what closed your heart. And as soon as we get rid of that, your heart opens back up and you love. It's what's natural for us as human beings.
Oh, I love it. I love
Mhm.
it. That is so fantastic.
You know, I think, Paul, in the book you saw, I also I sent a copy of the book, Your Love Does Matter, to every member of the U.S. Congress, representatives and senators, to the president and the vice president. And I sent it with a message that said, this is not a righteous message. This is not like you should love more. That's not the message. And it's not a Pollyannish message like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we all loved some more? No. This is a message that what has leadership be effective. Think about Gandhi, think about Martin Luther King. What their ridiculous effectiveness was they refused not to love. They just refused. There was
Oh,
nothing you could do to them
yeah.
that would have them stop loving. They just refused. So the message in my sending the book to every member of Congress is that love is not a Pollyannish idea, it's not a righteous idea. It is the essential core of us being effective with each other as human beings.
Oh, I love that. And thank you for doing that. And I mean, and your book, I mean, that's something that everyone can gain from because that is a beautiful message. It really is. And so how do you help people move from the intellectual understanding of love and into the actually living as love? There's a difference there, isn't it?
There certainly is. And that's where, again, I would draw the difference between what we have in life. We have emotions and we have thoughts, and we can have loving emotions and loving thoughts, which we don't have any control over. They come and they go.
Mhm.
And that's where some relationships get in trouble because when you first meet somebody, it's like, whoa, I love you. I have these emotions and thoughts. They're overwhelming. I love you so much. But then over time, those emotions change and those thoughts change, and you go, I don't think I love you anymore. That's so powerless. When we get that, no, it's not having emotions or having thoughts, love as a way of being, that's what I get to generate my life. Then what's the point of the other person? See, you can't give me love. If you love me and I'm cranky, I don't experience love at all. I experience crankiness. If you adore me and while you're adoring me, I'm being judgmental, I don't experience love at all. I experience judgment. So the other person can't put love in our life. Only we can do that by being loving. When we're being loving, we'll experience love. Okay, so what's the point of other people if they can't give us anything? The point of other people is you give me the opportunity to be loving. I can't be loving if there's nobody there. I can't be tender if there's nobody there to be tender with. I can't be generous if there's nobody there to be generous with. When
Yeah.
you understand the point of people is not to get something from them, but they give you the opportunity to be somebody, you're
Mhm.
left grateful for the presence of anybody in your life. And the senior lesson is that the more difficult the other person is, the bigger we get to be. A polite clerk in a store is an opportunity to be polite back. A
Yeah.
rude clerk in a store is an opportunity to be really generous. A
Yeah.
great boss is an opportunity to be great back. A difficult boss is an opportunity to be a giant of a human being.
Yeah.
So the more difficult the other person, the bigger we get to be. So in fact, they may be the ones to be the most grateful for.
So basically, we can make the choice to choose love as our way of being.
Yes. And it is you see, and it doesn't matter what emotion. See, when, let's just take different experiences. Let's suppose you're tired. When a person is tired, could they be cranky? Sure. When a person's tired, could they be argumentative? Sure. When a person's tired, could they be playful? hmm When a person's tired, could they be cuddly? Yeah. When a person's tired, could they in fact be tender and loving? They could, couldn't they? How about when a person's angry? When a person's angry, could they be cranky? Sure. When a person's angry, could they be argumentative? Sure. When a person's angry, could they in fact be tender and loving? They could, couldn't they? We've probably all experienced that, especially with pets or small children. It seems easier. But nonetheless, even if it's with a pet or a small children, we can still, it proves that even when we're angry or resentful, we still have a choice about who we be, and love is still there available for to be loving, no matter what emotion or thought we're having. That's really good news. That's called freedom.
Yeah, that is freedom. No matter what's happening, we have the choice to be loving
hmm
and be in that being. Oh my gosh, that is so fantastic. Uh, David, please share with everyone your website, how they can learn more about you
Sure. The
and what you're
website's
doing.
very straightforward. It's yourlovedoesmatter.com. Yourlovedoesmatter.com. And on there, you have access to different things about the book, et cetera. But you also on there, I have some free things, Paul. I have some guided meditations that I've led, recordings of those that are there available for free for anybody that would like those. I think they're really supportive of people. I'm doing some free calls before the holidays about how to bring joy to your holidays by expanding your love footprint during the holidays. So those are coming up. I'll do those on Zoom. They're coming up next week. So people could find out about those free calls that I'll be offering on the website. So again, it's yourlovedoesmatter.com. And the book, Your Love Does Matter, is available on Amazon. It's an audio version as well as Kindle, as well as print. So it's very available. And, Paula, I wrote the book not, it couldn't be a book about talking about love. That would be, because I could write a book about being effective and nobody ends up effective. You can read a book about leadership and not end up a leader. So I didn't want people to read a book about love and end up with nothing. It has had to be a book that not was about love, but was a pathway to love as a presence in your life. And that's why I wrote the book. And I hope that and I'm hearing from people that that's exactly what it provides.
It is, and it's a beautiful message. We have about 3 minutes, or 3 minutes left, David. What last message do you want to say with everyone today?
Yeah, well, again, let's take on our love footprint, everybody. Our love footprint, expanding our love footprint. And if we just pay attention to that, every time we leave an interaction, no matter how short or how long, we leave behind something, and we could get committed as a society, leave behind love. That would make a difference. Let's start being aware of our love footprint. And then join me in the Love Matters collaboration. worldwide. Let's come together and let's take a stand that love prevails as a preeminent way of being on the planet. So yourlovedoesmatter.com.
Oh, I
I
love it. I
look
love
forward to
it.
working with everybody.
Oh, I am so grateful for all you do for so many, all you've done, the difference you make, your book. I mean, it's life changing. I mean,
Yeah.
these simple steps,
And I'm grateful
and
for this opportunity to share that you gave me today. Thank you so much for this
it is so
opportunity.
wonderful. And I'm going to be continuing my day with my love footprint.
Good,
What's
good.
my love footprint going to be today?
Wonderful. Wonderful. And
Let's
people
celebrate
people
that.
have shared with me that thought comes to them in moments of like real like testing, like when somebody irritates them, all of a sudden they have a flash of a thought, what's my love footprint? And it literally
Yeah.
makes a difference for them. So if we get that we have a love footprint in our consciousness, it actually makes a difference.
Great. Okay, so then do you recommend someone that's saying, okay, I want to have that love footprint in my consciousness? Is there a little something they can say to themselves every day or just put out there to kind of trigger that?
Just ask the question, what's my love footprint? That's all you have to do. Ask yourself the question, what's my love footprint? That's all you have to do. It's very simple and it works.
Wow, I love it. Oh my goodness. Well, David, thank you for the amazing love footprint you're making around the world.
Hmm.
And thank you everyone for joining us and being a part of our love footprint. And we can be a part of your love footprint. Love you
Blessings,
all.
everyone. Blessings.
Yes. Hugs, blessings to everyone. And we really appreciate you being with us today. David, I look forward to checking out your meditations.
Great. Enjoy them. And
Yeah,
I'll be doing more too. So, but I think I love them. So I hope other people do too.
yes, yes.
All right.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, David. I could talk another half hour with you. You
Thank you.
just have some beautiful messages.
All
I'm
right.
really grateful.
Thank you.